friend, have you ever had it where nothing in your homeschool went according to plan? Maybe you had everything mapped out perfectly, assignments, activities, a well thought out schedule, only to fall apart before lunchtime. If you've ever felt frustrated because your homeschool isn't going according to plan, you're not alone. I've been there too. But what if I told you that sticking too tightly to the plan might actually be making things harder than you think? In today's video, we're going to talk about why a rigid homeschool plan often leads to stress and burnout, and how to tell if your plan is helping or hurting you and your homeschool. To create a flexible framework that gives you structure without the stress. If you've ever felt like a slave to your homeschool schedule, grab a cup of tea, take a deep breath, and let's talk about how to homeschool with more freedom and joy. So let's start by talking about why sticking to the plan at all costs might actually backfire. The first reason is it usually creates stress. When we're too focused on following the plan exactly, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and on our kids. If math takes longer than expected or a child struggles through a lesson, it can feel like you're falling behind. But homeschooling isn't about clicking off the boxes. It's about real learning. A better approach is to focus on progress and not perfection. Some days might be slower, and that's perfectly okay. The second reason is it ignores real life interruptions. Let's be honest. Life happens sickness, unexpected errands, a bad night's sleep. Sometimes sticking to the plan is just not possible. Instead of feeling frustrated, what if we built our homeschool around flexibility instead of rigid schedules? The third reason is it can make learning feel rushed and forced. Have you ever pushed through a lesson just to stay on track, even though your kids clearly weren't engaged? When we're too focused on completing the plan, we miss opportunities for deep, meaningful learning. A better approach is to pause and explore the topic that you're discussing, or switch things up as you need to. How do you tell if your plan is hurting or helping you? How do we know when sticking to the plan is actually helping or when it's time to adjust? Let's do a quick homeschool check in. Ask yourself these questions. Are my kids engaged, or do they seem frustrated and overwhelmed? Am I feeling anxious about getting through instead of enjoying the process? Do I get upset when my schedule gets off track? Is my plan working for my family, or am I constantly just trying to force it? If you answered yes to some of these, it might be time for you to loosen your grip on your plan and make space for a more flexible, life giving homeschool. How do we create such a homeschool? The goal is to have structure without the stress, a plan that gives direction but allows life to happen. Use a rhythm instead of a rigid schedule. Instead of saying math is from 9 o'clock to 9:45, try thinking in blocks of time or in a simple rhythm. So like morning time is core subjects, break, read aloud, hands-on learning. This way, if your math takes longer or someone needs a break, you're not constantly feeling off schedule. The second thing is to prioritize the essentials and let the rest be flexible. Ask yourself, what are the 2 or 3 most important things that we need to get done today? Once those are complete, consider the rest a bonus. Example, if your must-dos are math, reading, and Bible time, everything else like history, science, or extra projects can be flexible based on your time and energy levels. For number 3, I would suggest that you have a plan B for the hard days. Some days will not go as planned, and that's fine. Have a go-to backup plan for days when things feel chaotic. Here are some simple plan B ideas. Do school outside for a change of scenery. Listen to an audiobook and coloring day. Focus on only read alouds and discussions. Swap a structured lesson for a nature walk or a hands-on project. And for number 4, give yourself permission to adjust as you go. Homeschooling is not static. What works one month might not work the next. The key to long term success is to be willing to adjust when needed. If something isn't working, don't see it as failure. See it as valuable feedback that helps you refine your approach. I wanted to share a few stories of a homeschool mom who let go of their strict plans and found more peace. We'll start with Sarah's story. Sarah used to schedule her homeschool down to the minute. Math at 9, writing at 9:45, science at 10:30. She was constantly frustrated when things didn't go as planned. So, she switched to a relaxed rhythm instead of strict time slots. Everything changed. Now her days feel more natural, less rushed, and more enjoyable. Emily's story is she was trying to do every subject, every day: history, science, grammar, phonics, geography, handwriting, music, art, and it was exhausting. One day, she started focusing on 2 to 3 core subjects a day and rotating the rest throughout the week. She felt so much less pressure, and her kids actually learned more. If homeschooling has felt hard, rigid, or exhausting lately, you have permission to adjust. Your homeschool does not have to look like a traditional school. It does not have to be rigid or stressful. You get to create a plan that works for your family, your lifestyle, and your children's unique learning needs. So today I challenge you, think about one area of your homeschool where you feel is too stressful or rigid and find a way to loosen that up and make space for more joy. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're working on. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. It helps me provide more videos for you like this. I love to give homeschool mom encouragement. You've got this, even on the hard days. God's grace is enough. That's all for today.